My friend, a Twitch streamer, home to homie, just reached 100 followers on Twitch. To celebrate, they decided to host a tournament in Sword and Shield using the VGC Series 9 rule set. I was asked to compete in the tournament, and I was determined to win. Let's see how it went. I started off this team as I would any, not having prepared anything until the last minute. I had some idea of what I wanted my team to be, but ultimately, I had not yet finalized anything. I knew that I wanted two cores for this team, the first being Galarian Moltres and Comfey, while the second core would be G-Max Venusaur and Torkoal. As for my last two Pokemon, I decided to bring Sylveon and Arcanine. This choice would have consequences that no one would have expected. My first opponent's team was scary, having Pokemon like Galarian Darmanitan, Talonflame, and Urshifu. Scared of the priority max airstream, I decided to go with the Comfey Moltres lead, while they're led with Talonflame and Vileplume. I decided to max Moltres right away, and use Draining Kiss to activate its weakness policy. I took a calculated risk because Vileplume might use Sleep Powder. Everything went according to plan. Talonflame used Tailwind, but then Vileplume did in fact put Moltres to sleep with Sleep Powder. Fearing that Comfey would be targeted, I decided to protect it. My opponent, however, read this play, and decided to double up on Moltres. This is when they revealed that Talonflame and Vileplume had lower than expected damage output. I was able to keep Moltres healthy by spamming Flora Healing, and when Moltres woke up, it was able to take out Vileplume with a max airstream. My opponent then brought out Galarian Darmanitan, a powerhouse that made me very nervous, but luckily I had a trick up my sleeve, or should I say trick room. I predicted that Darmanitan would knock out the Moltres and the Comfey would live the turn, and that would allow me to set up Trick Room. I used Sucker Punch on Talonflame to break his Scalewind's ability, and was preparing to sweep with Sylveon after my Comfey lived the max airstream from Talonflame. Except Darmanitan missed the attack, and Moltres got to live to see another day. After that, it was a blowout. Moltres and Comfey defeated Talonflame, Darmanitan, and the Hackers in the back, leading me to my first win. After this, I started blazing through my opponents, defeating them with a hyper-offensive team. Then I saw the man of the hour, Homie to Homie, aka Steven. He had a Kingdra on his team, and I knew it would boil down to a weather war to see who would win. I led Venusaur and Torkoal, while he led with Metagross and Kingdra. To preserve tempo in the weather war, I opted to protect Torkoal and max click the Metagross. Unfortunately, the unthinkable happened. Focus Ash, which would be kind of weird. It hangs on, wow! What? What? Okay. And it's also policy? No way, okay, I think I lose this. I think I lose. Airstream. Yikes. Big yikes. Did headbutt? It barely hung on. Wow. And the double up too? Sheesh. Yeah, so apparently Metagross can live a max quake from a Life Orb Venusaur. To make matters worse, it held the weakness policy. To make matters even worse, Homie to Homie ran me perfectly and ignored Torkoal. And to be honest, do you really need to see this fight? I lost, miserably. But hey, at the end of the day, Caterpie1 followed me on Twitch. And you should too. Unable to mourn, I dove into the next battle against my opponent, Wilder. His team was by far the scariest. It looked like it was based off of Wolf Glick's team he used to win Players Cup 2, because it featured Weakness Policy Colossal along with Support Dragapult. But after a near repeat of what happened last time, Moltres was able to eat a +2 max Vocal Lift and were able to pull off a clean win using the same strategies as before. My win streak continued, except for that one match where my opponent got 3 critical hits in the first 2 turns, but it's okay, I'm not mad. But then I was at a crossroads. The tournament was almost over, and I think everyone had played all their matches, and I was only second place. I was constantly trying to find another player, but to no avail. I then made an observation. if the rank 1 player was playing a game and they lost, then I might be able to snag the rank from them. And that is exactly what happened. Then, I made the stupidest mistake ever. You see, there would only be one person besides myself who was still playing, and that would be the person who was just rank 1 but got knocked down to rank 2. So, why did I, in my hubris and stupidity, decide to find another match? And of course, I got paired with a person who was previously number 1, but was now number 2. And it was none other than Wilder. Yeah, recall him, the guy with the Wolf Lick team? I was going up against him again, and he knew my strategy. I decided to lead off with the good old red, black, and bulky, while he led off with his other core of Excadrill and Tyranitar. Let's see how the battle went. Turn 1. I max Moltres and he maxes Tyranitar. I protect Comfey, reading it to the Iron Head from Excadrill. I use Max Darkness, bringing Excadrill to low HP, and Tyranitar uses Max Knuckle to boost it and Excadrill's attack stat. Now, up until this point, you've heard of 4 out of my 6 team members, but it's time to hear about the underdogs, Sylveon and Arcanine, literal dogs ironically, because they were in the back. I brought Arcanine in for Intimidate, to bring Excadrill and Tyranitar's attack stat back to neutral. Excadrill then used Rock Slide, activating my weakness policy on the Moltres and doing big damage to Arcanine. Moltres then finished off Excadrill with another Max Darkness, and then to counter the special defense drops for Max Darkness, Tyranitar used Max Quake on the Arcanine slot to finish it off. Arcanine's death will not be in vain though, because now they were no longer at +1. I figured that since T-Tar is at -1 in speed death, Sylveon would come in and finish it off. Then, even better, my opponent sends in their own Galarian Moltres. Now, Sylveon is in prime position to deal massive damage to T-Tar with the Fairy type Hyper Beam and... And Moltres also doesn't have the, oh my gosh. I flinched. Okay, so it's okay. It's okay. I still have a way to win this. I bring Comfey out, and I use Flora Healing on Sylveon. And then my opponent decides to use Nasty Plot with the Moltres. Okay, anyway, that allows Sylveon to unleash a powerful Hyper Voice onto both targets, and Tyranitar barely survives. It is here I noticed that it has the Assault Vest. Great. And to make matters even worse, it used Bulldoze to lower my speed and ensure that Sylveon will move last in the upcoming turns. Their last mon comes out, and it is indeed a female with a Psychic Seed, so it's bulky now. I heal up Sylveon again, and the Indeedee lands an Expanding Force on both my Pokemon, landing a critical hit on Sylveon. Sylveon and Comfey then endure a Rock Slide from T-Tar, and then Sylveon lands a Hyper Voice to finish off the T-Tar. The next turn, I use Flora Healing on Sylveon, and Indeedee takes out the Comfey and chips away at Sylveon. Hyper Voice, now becoming a single target move, does slightly more damage to Indeedee now. Here we are, the final turn of the match. Indeedee goes first, and then Sylveon. Sylveon has the weight of the world on its shoulders. It has to endure a single target Expanding Force in the psychic terrain from Indeedee, and then knock it out with Hyper Voice. Indeedee attacks. And Sylveon lives with 10 HP and sends that freak back to the Shadow Realm, and we win, defending our title as ranked 1. And the tournament ends, and we finished first place. Thank you so much for watching the video to the end. If you like what you saw, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in Gen 9. Until then, don't forget that you are loved and you matter, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye.